This is a little different than my last videos, to be honest with you, and I think most of that is just, I don't know, like, a lot of the stuff that I want to do is inhibited by the fact that I didn't want to show my face. Yeah, I thought I would go into it with something a little easier than a scripted video, so I kind of have some bullet points of my March favorites. So yeah, my March favorites for this month, since it's pretty much almost over. Gary Newman. I don't really know how to start this, can you tell? Gary Newman, so I am like a new wave fan. I like all the 80s stuff. And I listened to a lot of him this month because I took a trip back in March of, I think 2022 that I went, and I went to Kentucky for like a week, I think, and I was listening to a lot of him on the trip, so I feel kind of nostalgic for that time. And so the past couple of years I've been listening to him in March is kind of like a I remember when type thing, you know? So yeah, that's coming back around, and I've been listening to him a lot. Yeah, I also made a Halloween playlist. I don't know why. I guess when spring kind of transitions, you know, between winter to spring, there's kind of like that fall vibe still because there's dead leaves and everything, and I don't know, just kind of was feeling it, so I did. I'll link the playlist in the description, but I don't know, it was fun. I like doing it, and I've been listening to it a lot in the past couple weeks. So yeah, I also have been listening to a lot of OMD, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, and Tears for Fears. Big Tears for Fears fan. I was like, I think 0.0001% on Spotify or something a couple years ago, so I listen to them a lot. It's kind of just my daily repeat, I guess. I don't know. I listen to like the same 5 playlists of bands, so nothing crazy, but I like what I listen to, and that's all that matters, you know? I think I want to get into listening to more like bossa nova, jazz, like lounge music, I guess. It's kind of a genre that's interested me for a while, but I've never really listened to it a whole lot. Like, I think the closest I've really gotten into it is the Jazz Punk soundtrack. If please someone say they've played this game, because it's my favorite game, and every time I bring it up, no one knows what I'm talking about, which is a little frustrating, but fingers crossed someone will know that. So yeah, if you like jazz punk, please reach out to me. I would love to talk about it. So yeah. Also library music. I watched a really good library music like a video on it the other day. Like I'll link the video because it was really interesting. But I don't know, I think that genre is really interesting because it's not really music that's meant to be listened to on its own. It's meant to be sampled and reused for other people or in movies or whatever. I wouldn't complain if I got it more into it. Also, it's not really music related, but I started listening to a podcast earlier this month, I think, like probably the very beginning of March. Elliot, for any designer people out there. I'm in an art school, so I'm kind of obligated to start being interested in design stuff, but I was also already interested in it. I was already interested in it anyway, so I don't know. It works out for me. Next is books. Big book fan. I've been trying to read more. I read a lot last year. I think I read probably around 50 books, maybe like not one a week. I definitely read a lot over the summer, but I've been trying to read more because school's been keeping me busy. I haven't had the time to read, but I've been trying to get back into it a little more just for the sake of like, I don't know, I like reading and I want to do it. So first book that I read, well, finished reading, is called The Most, and it's kind of like a novella about a 1950s housewife going through like a crisis, which doesn't sound very fun, and honestly the book was kind of mid, so it wasn't the best thing I ever read, but like it wasn't bad, you know. It was kind of underwhelming, I guess. I feel like I'm having that issue a lot when I read. Just the blurbs are really underwhelming compared to the actual book itself. But I actually read another book called Greta and Valdine. I don't really know how to pronounce it because all of the characters in that book are Russian, and I was struggling because of that, but the book was really good. It was just like gay son, lesbian daughter, like two perspective story, and just like gay panic and a lot of that stuff, which is fun to read. So yeah, that's pretty good, pretty long. It was like 400 pages, but I did like it. I picked it up because the cover was pretty. That's kind of my weakness when I work at a library, so I see a lot of books that have really well-designed covers, and that's something I want to go into. I want to design like album covers, book covers, stuff like that, so a good cover can draw me in, and it definitely did. I took like 3 months to read it. It's kind of a slow start, but it picks up after you kind of get to know the characters. I guess it's kind of subjective. It depends if you like just like gay people being losers and then like getting their shit together, you know? So I don't know. Look it up on Goodreads if you want to read it. I also have a Goodreads, so like that. It's a little plug. I read a couple of short horror stories. I watched an iceberg video with them in it, and I was like, okay, I want to read that. So I read a couple of those. I read I got it written down here. As you can tell, I'm like reading a bullet point list right now. The Velt. I forget who that's by. I'll put it up on the screen now. But I think it was also like set in kind of retrofuturism style stuff, if that makes sense. Like it was about a room that could project anything, really, and it's basically about these two kids who get obsessed with the concept of an African veldt, which is like the savannah basically, and the parents find out that they've just been watching like lions brutalize animals. So it was kind of a strange read, but it wasn't bad. I liked it for sure. Did I? I might have just been lying there. It was okay. It wasn't the best thing I've ever read, but it wasn't bad, you know? Sometimes it's just 3 out of 5 stars, and that's the best you can do. And I also read The Landlady I think it was by Roald Dahl, actually. And I like that too. It was a little underwhelming, but it also wasn't that bad. I thought it was okay. So yeah, a couple short stories. Oh, I got a couple books at my library that I work at because they sell old books sometimes, so that's pretty awesome, I would say. So I picked up Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson, which is, I've probably read that book 3 or 4 times now, and the graphic novel. It's, I don't really know how to explain it. It's about just a depressed teenage girl. So, I don't know, it was kind of cathartic reading. I haven't experienced anything that the character in the book has. As you can tell, I'm not a literary critic. I don't really know how to voice my opinions very well yet, so I'm still working on it, but good book. And then I also got, actually like 2 days ago, I got every single collected work of Edgar Allan Poe in this really nice, like, super thick book. I wasn't really expecting it, and it's in good quality too, so like, I'll take it, you know? And I think that's about it for everything I've read. I have a couple short stories checked out. I have a couple graphic novels. I have a lot of renews left on them, so I will probably check them out longer just so I can read them another time. But rest assured, if I do an April wrap-up, they will be there. Trust. Hopefully. TV and movies. So right away, haven't watched any movies. I can do TV shows, but movies, I binged a bunch of horror movies last October, and now I just have been super burned out of movies. Like the last movie I watched was in January with my mom, and it was kind of, I didn't like the movie. It wasn't bad, but like, it just wasn't for me, I guess. Subjectivity in art and all that. I don't know. It was Paper Moon if you're curious. Yeah, so TV, I have OKKO, and I would like to preface this by saying please don't judge my taste. I think it's a really good show. I liked the song in the gun control episode, even though that episode was like really preachy. I don't know if it's a comfort show, but it's like, I feel like that one meme of like when you drink too much and you feel maternal instincts towards SpongeBob, but like I feel that for KO because he's like really cute and he's just like so wholesome to watch. I don't know. It's kind of like a comfort show. And then we have Psyche K, which, not gonna lie, I hate like almost every character in that show, but it's not a bad show. What do I like about it? I watch it with my partner and I like to make fun of it with him. And it's not even a bad show. I just think like it's kind of stupid sometimes. Like the main character is so in his own head, which I know is the point, but like he's really mean to everybody, which is fair because a lot of the characters suck. So I would be mean to them too. All of the characters are just like really annoying to watch. It's like you root for them to like get their comeuppance, you know? It's not a bad show. I like it. I hate that they use the same like 2 songs. Every single episode you hear that like jazz song and it's like, please stop. I've heard this song literally like 500 times since the show started. I've had a good time watching it with my partner, probably 7 out of 10. And next I have Frasier, 90s sitcom. I don't really know how to explain this one. I just really like old sitcoms. Maybe not Cheers old, but like, well, I don't even know about Seinfeld anymore. I feel really guilty watching it because like Jerry is evil. Why is Jerry Seinfeld such a bad person? Kelsey Grammer is also a bad person, but I like Frasier and I like Niles the most because he's definitely queer-coded, autistic. Well, he's not even queer-coded. The actor is gay. He's very autistic-coded. Like I feel like he just is like that. I've had a lot of moments where it's like, oh, that's me. He does that thing that I do as well. So it's kind of also a comfort show. I definitely have been watching it like all the time since I started watching it in 6th grade. So I feel like it qualifies as a comfort show for sure. I also want to watch more Community. I feel like I'm due for a rewatch, but they took it off everything and it's on Peacock now and I'm not buying Peacock. I could do something. Actually, I have it on DVD now. I got it for Christmas. I could plug my PS4 in that I haven't used since I got it and watch Community on my PS4. That's kind of humiliating. I'm sorry that I don't use my PS4. My partner installed a 4 terabyte hard drive. He knows the tech stuff better than I do, but he installed 4 terabytes of storage, let's put it that way, onto my computer, and I wanted to play Red Dead 2, and then it wouldn't run, so he had to come over and fix it, and I don't know what he did, but he got it working, so I was able to open it. I've actually started playing it. I said I would play online with my friend, because I thought online was a separate like thing you had to buy, but I guess it just comes with the game, which is pretty nice. Honestly, I am glad it doesn't cost an extra $40 because I would not pay that, to be honest. I played The Sims. They had that hobbies and business pack that came out, and I played it for like an hour and then I didn't play it anymore. I'm a lot more of a builder than like a cast player or even a live mode player. Live mode? It's kind of not a fun game. Is that bad to say? Like, it's been around 10 years. It's not even a fun game to play. I have like over 3,000 hours, but most of that is in build mode. Kind of a letdown. I'm sure that the Hobbies expansion is fun, but like probably will not be playing it anytime soon, if I'm being honest with you. I hung out with my friend last Thursday, and he has so many games. Like, so many games. And we played Overcooked 2 on his Switch, and we actually got a lot done. Like, I'm pretty proud of it. We got probably 6 or 7... Let me not lie right now. 4 levels that we did together that we 3-starred, which I feel pretty good about, because that game is really hard. And then we played It Takes Two, and he said I was the smartest friend that he played it with, because no one else could get past like the first puzzle in the game, which is kind of embarrassing for them. But I feel smart because I did it. So, thumbs up. My partner is on my ass about Fallout. That's a lie. He's not. He just really likes Fallout and he wants me to play it. And it makes me sad because it's about nuclear fallout, which was like my biggest fear as a child. I don't know why. Maybe I was just too young to be online. That's a question for a different day, though. He wants me to play Fallout and Terraria, both games that I am not really interested in playing, but we'll do it together, because that's just what you do as a partner, you know? I didn't like Terraria alone, but I think maybe if I play it with someone else, it'll be more fun. Fingers crossed, anyway. Like, I really hope so. Good thing I got it so long ago, the price tag of it does not matter to me at all. I have like 2 hours and I've had it for like 9 years, so I just have not had the energy to do any of my hobbies, to be honest with you. Especially gaming too. Like, I feel like gaming is such a time sink, but so is like all of my other hobbies. So I feel like it has to kind of go by the wayside so I have room for all my other cool stuff, which I will be mentioning in a second because I have a list of my hobbies and stuff. So yeah, it's really hard to balance hobbies with school. Like, I feel like every college student knows that. I'm just noticing it now because I'm looking back on everything since September, and I've been like, oh, I've done like nothing. I get home and then I watch YouTube and do nothing, and I feel really bad about it. I'll probably get more into gaming. I hate that. Get more into gaming. I'll probably open my Steam library and open more games in a few months when school is out. But for now, I am probably not going to be doing a whole lot of that. Alright, I have a long list here, so let me try to make it fast. I've just been watching a lot of fashion videos on YouTube. I'm not the most fashionable, but I think I've kind of more recently recognized that fashion is an art, and it's also a form of expression, which, like, kind of obvious. I don't know why I wasn't thinking that earlier, but I do have a lot of sensory issues, so it's been kind of like a barrier to dressing cool. Like, my idea of cool is a t-shirt and jeans, which is it. So I haven't been the best on that, but I'm thinking maybe I'll put more effort into it. I got Index. It's like a virtual closet. Basically, you scan all your clothes and then you can like put outfits together and stuff. You can like log what days you wore what outfit and stuff like that, and you can see the stats of like, here's how many shirts I have, here's how much of my wardrobe percentage that is, and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat. I haven't gotten super into it just because it's like, I wear what's comfortable, which kind of inhibits me from really doing anything cool. I'll have to work around that as I develop my wardrobe more. But yeah, for fashion, I've been watching a lot of Beep World, which is like, she's like kind of spunky. I look up to her. Shout out to her. She's really cool. She does a lot of good stuff. And Kathleen Illustrated. She's also kind of a fashion YouTuber. For some reason, I don't think of her as that, even though that's like her whole channel. So Kathleen Illustrated, which I DM'd once and she replied, which is cool. Also for YouTube, Frankie's Bookshelf, which is like a reading channel, obviously. They do a bunch of cool stuff with short, concise reviews on books and stuff, like summaries. I think we have a pretty similar taste. They find, I think, the topic of obsession really interesting, which I also do, because it just like really makes people go crazy, which I appreciate that we share that. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of them. I've also been on Facebook Marketplace a lot recently. Not proud of that one, but I like seeing what's on Facebook Marketplace. Who wants to listen to my day at school? I might just cut this out of the video entirely, I'm not sure. I have 4 classes this semester. I have 4D design, I have motion essentials, I have typography 2, and then I have Western art and visual culture, which is basically just like, let's learn about Rococo and let's learn about the Renaissance and stuff like that, which has been a fine class. In my 4D class, we've been doing kinetic sculptures. I'll like put stuff on the screen, by the way, for what I'm talking about. But basically, I made this like hanging fiber thing, which is pretty cool. My teacher liked it for sure. She was like, wow, you're so creative for using this like in a way that I wouldn't have. And I'm kind of making fun of her, but like, she's my favorite teacher. I don't know. I apologize for that. I like her a lot though. So yeah, I also created a mood board, and actually I crocheted a beret for my 3rd project. We needed to make a wearable, and it's due next month, but I already have it done. So I will be consulting her about that. In Western art, a lot of note-taking. I'm just gonna hop right over that because nothing interesting to remark on there. Oh yeah, in type, I made a whole book. I have a whole ass book for my type class. It's like 60 pages long, and it was $30 to print at a school that's an art school and already costs a lot of money to go to, which is a little frustrating. The book turned out cool though. It's a study. It's like a a typeface study. It's a typeface study. If you are W. Din, not the most interesting looking font. I don't know. The history is interesting. Really hard to design though. Like, I have to design like thumbnails and stuff, and like it was not super interesting because it is a sans serif font, and a lot of them look very similar. So, not the most fun I've ever had, but like, it's cool to have a physical like piece when you're done with it, because my last semester for type 1, we got like a piece of paper with the art we did on it. Tangible work wasn't there. Yeah, I also started work on an accordion book as well. Like, it opens up like that, and I'm still working on it. I've restarted it 4 times because every time I make it, it looks really bad. And in my motion essentials class, I'm learning After Effects, which, what is there to say about After Effects really? It's not for me. I like my static posters that aren't moving around, but it is kind of fun to animate. 7 out of 10. I like the teacher. The teachers are fun. We have like combined classes sometimes, and they banter like a married couple, which is kind of fun. I visited my local Joann's. Not happy about Joann's closing. I don't like Hobby Lobby. We're kind of screwed. I don't want to order yarn online, but I get the feeling I might have to. Anyway, spring break happened. That was cool. I lost my Apple Pencil in February, and like I said earlier, I got it on Facebook Marketplace. But very happy about that. I was starting to actually like lose my mind not having my Apple Pencil. Like, I need that to draw. I decluttered my wardrobe a little bit. I mentioned that earlier in Index. So my wardrobe is a little bit more empty now, which I'm happy about, because there was a lot of stuff in there that kind of made me feel guilty for not wearing it. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, if I'm not wearing it, like, I'm probably not ever going to wear it, especially stuff that I've had there for like months. And I don't even think of myself as like an impulse buyer. I guess it just kind of hits you, you know, and you're like, oh, this is stuff that I don't use. So I donated 2 really big bags of books to my library, which I feel pretty good about. My bookshelf was pretty crammed, just of like, I don't know, just like old kids books and stuff that like I was never gonna read, that I got for free, or like I've had forever and I just wasn't ever gonna, read it. So it was good to get it all off of the shelf, just so I can make room for books that I will read, or I do want to read, or already like and I want to have the physical copy of. So yeah, that felt pretty good. I hung out with my friend over spring break, gave him a ride to a motorcycle shop because he has a motorcycle. Yeah, basically just gave him a ride down there, and then we kind of drove back to his apartment together and hung out for a while. That's the same friend who I was playing It Takes Two with. And yeah, that was a pretty nice day. Like, I had a great time. It was really good. It's nice to have friends, which is something I'm struggling with right now in college because I'm a commuter. So I don't get to do like any of the club stuff, which is very lonely. I also cleaned out my bookmarks on Google Chrome. A lot of bookmarks. I'm a big bookmark fan. I have like 400, which feels like evil to say. I feel like it should not allow you to have that many, but I'm also taking advantage of that. So I feel like it should have that many because I need that many. I went to a zine event, which is like magazine. Well, it's not really magazines, but they use the pronunciation of zine. Yeah, I had a good time. Yeah, I saw a couple of my friends there. I didn't make a zine, but I made the first page of a zine, so 1/8 of the way there. Yeah, so that was fun. Got free food, which is nice. I also got locked in a storage room that they were putting all of their tables in when I was helping them set up. So, also, I want to learn Premiere Pro. I'm probably going to edit this video in Premiere Pro just because I was using Microsoft Clipchamp in the web browser to edit my videos, and I don't know if it comes across, but it was not a very good tool to use. I got a keychain from my grandma that says certified crazy person. I'll put it up on the screen here. It's a gift from my grandma, so I wanted to have it on me. 2 big mugs. I got them from TJ Maxx when I went with my partner, and I got a Miffy mug, which is really big. It's like this big, like really big. And I got like one just has like a bunch of tulips on it, which is pretty. And I've been needing more mugs, so I'm glad that I picked a couple up for like $8. Also at TJ Maxx, I have a bunch of I have like Littlest Pet Shop and like Smiskys and like little figurines and stuff that I have on my desk, and they were kind of like spread out in a row, which, I mean, like, it got really dusty on my desk because I have a dog and she's in my room all the time. But like, I didn't want to take off all of the trinkets, you know? So my desk was always really dusty and just not a good time. I think it's originally a spice rack, but like, I just keep it on the side of my desk so I don't have to worry about it. And I got a birthday gift for my friend because her birthday was at the beginning of the month. And I got a Miffy figurine. I'm not super into Miffy. I think it's cute. I think it's more interesting is it's like a Dutch character, which like you wouldn't think. You'd think it's like Sanrio or something, but like it's a Dutch designer, and I'm trying to learn a little bit more about Dutch design and German design because they were like really prominent in the design scene. So Apple Pencil, I mentioned it already, but oh my god, I'm so glad that I got my Apple Pencil because I needed that. I'm not even gonna like reiterate. I'm really glad that I have my Apple Pencil. And yarn from Joann's, which I don't want to talk about that it's closing. The microphone I'm using right now, this is from my school's ABC, so I'm renting it out. I don't actually own it. I'm a fake. But I'm here with the microphone, and hopefully it's working right now. I'm actually really nervous that I have to record everything again, so hopefully not. Yeah, that's about everything that is significant to me right now in March. It's almost the end of March, so honestly, probably nothing more for now. But yeah, also sorry about the lighting. I thought it was gonna stay light for longer, but I forgot that it's still spring and not summer. I'm just gonna shut up now. Hopefully this works out. I'm not great on camera, as you can tell. Hopefully it gets better, because I have a lot of ideas that all kind of require a camera. Like and subscribe. Comment. Bye.